Hello? Hey, I was just letting this show play in the background with Mayfair Witches. Hold on, man. This is crazy. First of all, two things came to my mind. First thing I thought of was this. I don't know why my mind go here, but I don't know. I'm obsessed with shadow work and just understanding that part of myself. Because I figured the better I understand me, I can understand people. And it's just dope. I just love it. I don't know. Maybe I was a shrink in my past life. I don't know. Anyway, this is what I was thinking about. I said, hey, do y'all know when they be like, the devil always come to collect? I remember hearing that when I was coming up as a kid. And just as a younger, maybe teenager, young adult, the devil always come to collect. And I thought, oh, what the hell? Ouch. Hurt my damn head. I was like, what does that really mean? Why do they be saying that? The devil always come to collect. But then I had an epiphany. Let me see if it'll come back. I was messing around with his headscarf in between the time when that download came in. But I said, what do that mean? Let me see. The devil always come to collect. And this what came to mind. I thought, damn, he do be always coming to collect. It's almost like however you go about navigating your earthly experience and the things that you get, and depending on what side of the fence you on and how you showing up, whether it's morally, ethically solid, guided by something, got an internal compass or something that's guiding you to be more stand up. Look, if you get blessings and gifts and things from being out of selfishness, stealing from people, hurting other folks, don't care. It's like them ego-based ways of just not caring about your fellow man to get what you want and get your needs met in this world. It's almost like you'll get it, but that saying like the devil always comes to collect. It's like if your needs being met in this lifetime is based on hurting somebody else, or in order for you're getting it because it gives you some type of external validation, that means you're not standing on a rock. Your identity and self-worth and any way you move is not on no solid rock. So that means the devil gonna always come to collect, because if you getting shit in that manner, he gonna come to collect, not necessarily to take your shit, but if you operating like that in this world, then also you have a lot of self-depreciating thoughts and a lot of ruminating thoughts that's not healthy, because you're not standing on the rock. You're not connected to your soul the right way, and you're not even acknowledging something divine that's got this whole thing running. You ignoring all of that. You just happy that you're getting this shit, this stuff, them temporary fixes, them dopamine hits, or whatever this thing is. But he brought it to mind. He said, the devil always come to collect. And I thought, why are they dropping my head? And what does that really mean? Because it's the same egoic-based principles you're using to navigate your earthly experience and to accumulate shit with them. Some of them same egoic shadow programming, conditioning, psychological warfare, oppression, not good enough. I don't have any value without this shit. Simultaneously, you might be getting this shit, but on the back end, you still got this internal voice that ain't no damn good. Oh Lord, and God forbid if the devil bless you with all the shit you ever wanted, and for whatever reason, one way, shape, or form, maybe you have a spiritual awakening, life just happens for whatever reason, and something gets uprooted and you lose all that shit that gave you that carnal perceived value. Oh, the devil always come to collect, because that's when you see people lose their mind and shit. So I think when they say the devil come to collect, it don't even be about the materialism shit that him taking. It's about if you ain't rooted in nothing divine that's guiding you and helping you see yourself clearly. It's about the way you see yourself. And if that's not rooted in something bigger than some motherfucking shoes or something materialistic, if that go, the devil gonna come to collect, meaning because he gonna take that shit and your mind. He gonna make you lose your damn mind. But half the time, it's almost like that's what be necessary. You need to lose your mind so you can remember who you are spiritually. And sometimes he'll let you, sometimes it's almost like God will sit back and allow shit to happen like that, so then you can lose your mind and have a goddamn, is that what the midlife crisis, is that what that means? It's almost like he make you go through that to get you back to the basics, to remember. It's like it all keep going back to remembering who you are. And the longer you deny that metaphorical psychological snake, that fucking grass snake is gonna develop to an anaconda, and then it's gonna be like tick tock. It's that hour. The devil gonna always come to collect. And when he come to collect, he gonna come to collect. Especially depending on how long you've been ignoring the writing on the wall. That's awful. And so maybe God put that on my mind just to share, just to put something on somebody's mind, because you ain't got to. I think that truthfully, I think the reason people commit I'm not going to say the word, but I think that the reason people commit as frequently as they do is because they're trying to escape this. They're trying to escape this, but they don't know that to escape that, all you have to do is surrender and do some healing work and introspection and start to see shit from a higher perspective and release ideas that's outdated, that's beating you up in the mind. But it's almost like people unalive themselves because they're trying to escape the mental, but they go too far. You ain't got to kill off your body. It's almost like the death that when that happens like that, it's almost like what it really be is God be trying to make them have a ego death. But if you don't have no spiritual guidance or nobody around you to guide you to show you that or share that with you, you don't even be realizing that ain't no way God would never want you to do that. But what he is allowing you to suffer through is enough shit so that you can hopefully have an ego death. But he don't want you to unalive yourself physically. But sometimes that just show. Sometimes when the devil come and collect, it be so overwhelming and that you just can't see shit clearly. You don't see nothing clear. And all you think of is I just want to exit. But all along, it's always just an attempt to help you surrender the toxic, dark aspects of your egoic personality that you think is all where your value coming from. It's like it's trying to prompt you to have that like a spiritual, like an ego death, and get off of that timeline and remembering who you are. So that's what be happening. I think a lot of times when people hurt themselves like that, it's because they don't even have. Usually, it's probably be them people who are the first in the recent history or the recent time period that had a spiritual awakening. They probably the first in their bloodline or the first of anybody that's in their close proximity. And if you don't have some kind of spiritual divine, some kind of rock you can stand on to keep you grounded where you don't feel like you're going loosey-goosey, and you ain't got nobody else around you who's had an awakening, everybody else is still asleep, the process of unlearning and remembering who you are and reprogramming the truth into your mind and all that, it takes somebody who's really got a lot of grit to do that, because the average somebody will lose their motherfucking shit. And so now it makes sense why sometimes people resort to that. I think it's unintentional. They be trying to just escape escape that, because it's just sad. That's why that needed to be a goddamn a course, and it needs to be more conversation about that, because I think that's what be happening. You ain't got no guidance, no nothing, and you be thinking you crazy, but because of the majority, you know how they say the majority rules. And so if you're the only somebody who's having an awakening to see things clearly, but everybody else is still the walking dead, of course, because you outnumbered, you're gonna look at it. And that's why I know God is real, because by the grace of God, that's the only thing that was able to keep me clear-headed enough to see the duality of life and to see, okay, I'm going through an awakening. Pretty much 98% of everybody around me are still asleep. They might have some concept or something, but they still ain't really seeing reality clearly. Okay. And just to have to navigate that and see what's going on. Okay. So this is what I'm dealing with here. This is somebody who got a shadow that ain't worked on. This is why they act like it. Like he had to work with me to help me see that clearly. But I guess the gist of what he pushed me to just share was that just to put on somebody's mind, man, it's never too late to change. And however you navigate in your life, if it ain't aligned or going towards the direction of your higher self and what's the truth, the divine truth about life and what your life mean and what you're here to do, that means more than likely you operating your life and getting by through your shadow self. And the shadow self, the dark psychology, all that means you being a little bit cynic out here, but the devil always come to collect. And he comes to collect by messing with your head. Because the moment you kind of even slightly have an awakening to start to see shit clearly, the stuff that you've been suppressing or ignoring or didn't want to accept, you come online a little bit and start having an awakening, the devil comes to collect, meaning you go through a huge window of time where you have a lot of shame and guilt, and you feel just despair because you start to wake up and realize what you've been doing. You start to wake up and realize what you've been doing, and that's a hard pill to swallow. That's why intentionally being unconscious in terms of staying unawakened and don't want to do healing work on purpose, you're going to have a harder time. What they call it, the dark night of the soul. I forgot. Somebody else gave it a better term, better name, but essentially when you start to come online and realize all that you've been doing, that's hard, that's heavy. And that's what they mean the devil comes to collect. Because sometimes it do be hard to live with yourself in terms of the mental space you be in when you realize what you have been doing back there in that past, and how you've been acting, how you've been showing up, and how you've been mean, how you've been however it is. But you can change it, you can shift that narrative. And the faster you shift it, the less of that whole that psychological suffering shit that be trying to make you look for ways of escapism. That's essentially what be happening. Escapism, whether it's extreme escapism off the earth type, or if it's escapism through substance abuse and stuff. What the goal is, he's trying to make you have an ego death, but not an actual physical death. He's trying to help you remember who you are. And I guess essentially a lot of people can't handle it, can't take it. And that's why they say many are called, but few are chosen. That's what that means. I think essentially we're all called, but the chosen few are the ones who got the mental agility, the staying power to see it through, that mental resilience. Because everybody can't handle that like that awakening thing. And so, but either way, I just want to say it ain't never too late to change. And especially if you are awakened enough to know that some shit that you be doing and how you be moving be a little bit bogus. It's never too late to change, because at the end of the day, you don't get away with nothing. And the devil do always come to collect. And it might not necessarily be by taking anything material from you, but it might be through taking the blinders, taking those rose tinted glasses off, removing that veil from off your eyes and waking you up to make you become more conscious, aware of how you've been moving, and having to sit those emotions and in that energy of feeling like you haven't been so great of a person. Sometimes that's how he come to collect. He'll make you sit through that. So that you will never, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then hopefully that's enough of a heartache to get you to stay on the narrow path going forward. More than likely, that's what that meant. At least that's what I got. That's what it means to me. But anyway, he brought that to my mind. So I just thought, let me just share that. That's interesting. Like, why the hell they used to say that? The devil will always come to collect. That's why you got to just watch it. You got to watch it. And I imagine that some people on this earth who actually are just destined to just stay in that darkness and keep, for one reason or another. Maybe it's just not this lifetime. They're going to just stay in that shit. And that's cool, I guess. But, man, if I was, ain't no way in hell if I was in the darkness, I would be that chicken. I'd just rather stay in darkness and continue to be a hellraiser monster. Hell no, because that shit ain't fun. It be seen, but that ain't even fun. And that's a lie right there. That ain't fun. Just being no hellraiser, just no asshole every day. That really ain't fun. Because you gotta think of when somebody show up in a world like that and treat people like that, what the hell do you think is going on through their head about themselves? Because as within, so without. So that's what makes me be able to have compassion and empathy for people who show up like that. Because I know that, as within, so without, and you can't give what you ain't got. So whatever somebody giving, if it is something cynic or however they moving, that's because in the inside, in their brain, this is how that's their own internal self-perception on top of it. So that's that. Now that's a harsh living. If you think about that, it's hard because that's somebody who probably barely can't live with their self. And that's why they projecting that shit outwards. So my wish is for whoever come across this, that some I say makes sense, and that it just hopefully open your heart and your mind to consider doing the inner healing work, so that you ain't got to experience so harsh of an awakening whenever it might come time, or you open your mind and choose to consider it. Because that's just like they say. I remember growing up, and they would say when somebody can punch me in I'd rather be punched, or I'd rather break a limb than to be hurt in the heart emotionally, right? Because something on your body can heal up, but when you have those emotional wounds or psychological wounds, or somebody hurt you in that way, whether it be your awakening and your self-awareness hurting you to the fact that how much shit you was doing in the past, and you being hurt with all of that psychological, emotional, mental pain is almost worse than physical pain. That's just what I was trying to say. And that's the truth. So the faster you can go and get your awakening going, and just try and come out of that darkness, the better off you're gonna be. Essentially, it'd be hard, it'd be painful initially, but after a while, you be like, Come on. Wait, what was that? Harlem Night? Or somebody was finna box on that movie. He was like, come on. Hey, that's how you be when you really see what be going on. You be like, come on, shadow work. Okay, I got a new catalyst. I mean, a new not catalyst. I got a new catalyst. Because you gotta know all the shit you be going through, even if it be bogus. Sometimes it's just to activate your DNA, to activate your ass, because it's something dormant about who you are and the true power you do hold in your inner divinity. It's something about your inner divinity that you ain't seeing, and he wants you to see it and know it without any doubt. So he'll let you go through something so you can get activated. So I mean, look at it that way. That's what I say. Take the good with the bad. Go on ahead. Go on ahead. Anyway, we out here. We out here. I love y'all. I just want to hop on here and just share that though, because that came to mind. And it wasn't nothing, wasn't nothing real major, but maybe it was. I thought it was a little slight because I had been holding off and my damn head started hurting. So anyway, I love y'all. I just hope y'all having a good night and staying safe. And yeah, I know I didn't talk about that damn show, but I'll talk about that later. Something. I'll see where I'm pooled. Where I'm pooled. So I love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Okay, bye. Take it easy.